right, thank you very much for joining us. This is still Serious Matters on ONIF TV. Thank you very, very much for always keeping pace with us on our channel. Well, we're still on the Kuje incident where terrorists attacked a correctional center, a very, very renowned correctional center there in Abuja, where about 800 inmates were set free. Although news which just gone viral says that about over 400 of them have been recaptured, while a number of them have been declared wanted at the moment. Well, there have been sketchy informations with respect to that incident, and one of such sketchy informations have led to the arrest of two officers who spoke with terrorists after Kuje prison attack. Two officers of the Nigerian police force are currently in detention over the invasion of Kuje prison in Abuja. Well, in a similar development, the Senate president has also lamented, saying that it could have only taken the involvement or the intervention of an insider for that operation to have been successful, for them to have operated for about 3 hours. I understand they even organized the Jumat, said some prayers and all of that in that place before they left. And so we will look at this straight away. Terrorists who overpowered security operatives at the prison on Tuesday night released over 800 inmates, including all the Boko Haram suspects in detention. In fact, one of the very scary ones is that Boko Haram, that's Wundume, that's kidnap kingpin. He's part of those that escaped. That's serious matter. Like, seriously, that's serious. And make I just leave some matters alone, because I don't know what's in, some people don't get record where we say they're supposed done day, maybe not life imprisonment for somewhere, or by execution or something. Well, he said the attack sent a wave of shock across the country, like we're still feeling around here. When he visited the scene on Wednesday, President Muhammadu Buhari expressed disappointment with the intelligence gathering system there. He said, "I'm disappointed with the intelligence system. How can terrorists organize, have weapons, attack a security installation and get away with it? How did the defense at the prison fail to prevent the attack? How many inmates were in the facility? How many of them can you account for? Many, he asked for so many. How many personnel did you have on duty? How many of them were armed? Were there guards on the watchtower? What did they do? Does the CCTV cameras work?" All sort of questions that Buhari had asked hours after Buhari left Kuje. The Islamic State in West Africa province, ISWAP, claimed responsibility for the attack. In a footage on Wednesday night, the terrorist sect showed some of its men shooting their way into the facility. Tens of thousands of fighters were seen marching in groups while vehicles and buildings were on fire. In the 38-second video, an elderly man dressed in a native attire also joined the young men who were shouting on top of their voices rather. Now, the Islamic State AMC agency released the video with a caption, "Fighters of Islamic State attacked Kuje prison in Abuja yesterday and succeeded in freeing dozens of prisoners." Well, we gathered that the two police officers were nabbed after their communication with some of the escapee were intercepted. Now, that's to tell you that we have all it takes. We have all it takes. Yet we've had kidnappers communicating with families of their victims and all of that, and they are not being intercepted. They are not being traced, despite the fact that we have all it takes. It only shows that it is only what we want to do that we do. We don't do everything, but whatever Nigeria wants to do, we do and we achieve. If Nigeria wants to arrest somebody, Nigeria gets that fellow. Well, two of the terrorists that escaped called a police investigation officer IPO in one of our stations and spoke to him in a compromising manner. They are now being investigated to know their level of complicity, the source said. Well, like I said, in a similar development, we have the Senate president lamenting, saying that it must have there must have been an insider for such a thing to have happened. And even after that, there was another attack in Abuja where about 30 bandits, attacked an estate there, robbed, and did all sort of things there. About 30 bandits. I think it's high time. Like Femi Fani-Kayode said, it is high time Nigerian government, federal government does something about these things, about these people, about them. They seem to be having a upper hand, as it were. And the way it is, they are making a mockery of our defense system. It's a mockery of our security system. It's a mockery. It's a mockery. They released the video saying they operated successfully. They operated successfully. How many of them was killed? How are we not sure? How are we so sure that the ones that the few guys that died were not hit by stray bullets by from the bandits themselves? Not necessarily from the security officials there. And just like if we can get answers to all the questions that the president asked, then we will not have a repetition of such incidents. The Senate President Ahmad Lawan has said that Tuesday's attack on Kuje Medium Security Custodian Center by a terrorist speaks volume about the failure of the country's security architecture. Well, it's good that it's coming from the number 3 citizen. It's good. It's okay. And so it's getting to you gradually. We did not need to wait for that anyway. We didn't need to wait for that. Look at the attack on the advanced convoy of the president. Look at what happened in Japan. An ex-prime minister giving a speech and shots. He's been declared dead today. Everywhere is becoming tense. We can't afford to fold our hands. We can't afford to, and these guys are just little compared to, what, the possibilities. Crime keeps, improving. They keep improving, so they feel, oh, you already got this one. They are going to improve on it. Lawan stated this on Thursday when he led a delegation of leadership of the Senate to assess the level of attack on the correctional facility by insurgents. Lawmakers in the Senate delegation, which also had some members of the Committee of National Security and Intelligence, were conducted around the facility by the Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Center, Liru Nababa. According to the Senate President, an attack on the Kuje Medium Security Custodian Center could only have been possible with the collaboration of insiders within the National Correctional Center. And I agree. Do you agree? It could only, that's the only way. That's the only way. That huge number of insurgents could come into that place. And they left with so... Oh, come on. Come on. He faulted the Nigerian Correctional Center service for not providing closed circuits CCTVs at the Kuje Correctional Facility and other across the country. We should not always wait till something happens. These are things that naturally ought to be in place. We should not always wait for things to happen. Look at what happened on the Abuja-Kaduna train incident in April. And then they now started talking about CCTV camera and all of that. Did we have to wait? Some of those guys are still in captivity, suffering in the bush. Person they ourselves is still they manage. Well, the Senate President asked the Controller General of the NCS to include a request for the provision of CCTV across maximum medium correctional centers across the country in the 2023 budget proposal to the National Assembly for approval. Well, I hope that is executed. Even if they approve it and the money is released, I pray they do it. Because one of the major problems we have is, number one, we don't have the maintenance culture in Nigeria. When we say go and do this thing, we hardly go to check if those things were done. And even if we go to check whether they are done, we don't check if they are done properly, whether they stand the test of time. I remember when I was given the privilege to install a canopy somewhere in Ondo State. It was a government job, little job as it were. They kept some percentage of the money, maybe about 10%, maybe about 30% or thereabout. About 30% of the whole money they kept for about 6 months. They call it a retention fee. And so that if anything happens to that thing in the next 6 months, then you will have to replace it. You will have to correct it. You'll have to sort it out. You will have no choice but to do that anyway, since you have money with them. And by the grace of God, it stood the test of time. They paid me my balance when, that was settled. So I think the needful has to be done. The needful has to be done, and I think those guys who are arrested should speak out. They should get them to speak. You should get them to speak. There is more to that incident than what we just know. We should get them to speak. That means we have compromising officers. We have people on the inside who are compromising, who are not actually with us. Who are not actually with us. Well, okay, let's leave Kuje incident, because there have been several other issues. Even on the same matter, Boko Haram ISWAP threatened to kill the military officers who captured escaped terrorists. They have threatened that. So that means now that they have escaped, they are going to go after the military officials who actually, got them arrested in the first place. That makes, the situation more delicate at the moment. 69 persons declared wanted by the National Nigerian Correctional Center. I understand. Maybe that means that a lot of them actually came back. While some did not even leave because they had less than 3 months, to finish their term, their tenure. So there was no point running away. Well, that is the situation as touching the Kuje incident. Well, if there are updates, we'll bring them to you. But in the meantime, please do drop your comment, make them simple and civil as touching this particular matter. I will appreciate you. Will always do. Thank you very much. Also, like our page and also share our videos with others. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Bye-bye.